Welcome to this explainer. If you've been following the world of ESG and supply chain logistics, you already know we have a massive data problem. Today, we're going to break down a huge bottleneck in global commerce and see exactly how the Actionable Knowledge Foundational Institute's new Sustainability Transaction Standard, or STS framework, is solving the immense data chaos that is currently plaguing global supply networks. Let's look at the architectural blueprint designed to finally fix it.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll be hitting the supply chain data chaos, the unseen AI impasse, a unified data architecture, how STS fixes the problem, and lastly, building resilient value chains. So, to set the stage, we really have to stop and ask ourselves this fundamental question. With all our advanced AI, why is sustainability reporting failing? I mean, we have predictive algorithms and real-time tracking for literally everything else. Yet tracking carbon and social impact across global supply chains is still incredibly difficult. Why is that?
Well, that brings us to Section 1, the supply chain data chaos, or the administrative nightmare of modern reporting.
We really have to look at the ground-level reality here. Everyday transactional data between suppliers and customers almost never includes vital sustainability metrics. And because there is no unified architecture in place, just imagine being a single supplier right now. You are completely overwhelmed by tens to hundreds of uncoordinated, ad hoc reporting requests from your various buyers. Everyone wants your data, but everyone is asking for it in a completely different way. Different spreadsheets, different portals, different metrics. It's a mess.
And this structural chaos doesn't just cause exorbitant administrative costs, it generates completely unstructured, inconsistent data. You've got highly paid professionals spending all their time just trying to reformat spreadsheets instead of actually making things more sustainable. It's a massive drain on corporate resources, and the data you get out of it, you can't even use it for anything meaningful. Which leads us directly into Section 2, the unseen AI impasse. Let's look at why our advanced analytics are paralyzed.
The AI impasse is honestly the ultimate irony. Think about it. We have the most sophisticated predictive AI and digital platforms ever created, but they are essentially sitting in the driveway with an empty gas tank. Because the underlying data is not machine-readable or reliable, these advanced tools simply fail to work. They are completely paralyzed by the poor quality of the data we're feeding them.
It effectively creates a modern-day Tower of Babel. You have thousands of companies and machines trying to communicate about supply chain risks, but everyone speaks a different reporting language. And when the machines can't talk to each other, automated tracking across a vast network is literally impossible.
So, how do we fix it? That brings us to Section 3, a unified data architecture where we introduce the STS blueprint.
Now here's where the massive paradigm shift happens. On one side, we have traditional standards like GRI, SASB, and TCFD. These are incredibly important, right? But they focus on high-level, static corporate disclosures meant for investors. They're the glossy final PDF report. But on the other side, we have the STS framework. STS acts as a universal translator. It's uniquely focused on dynamic data transactions happening directly between suppliers and buyers. It's all about fixing that raw data exchange on the ground level, not just polishing up the final report.
Let's get into the actual mechanics. Section 4, how STS fixes the problem through 4 core mechanisms.
STS provides the shared architecture through 4 essential steps. First up, standardized requests. STS uses modular, industry-specific templates to unify exactly how data is asked for, which drastically reduces all that duplication of effort for suppliers. Second, digital formatting. It flat-out mandates an interoperable, machine-readable structured language. Third, collaborative governance. We're shifting focus to shared responsibility and joint decision-making protocols across the whole network. And fourth, regulatory alignment. It ensures the data actually harmonizes with major global mandates. And speaking of major global mandates, just look at how this plays out in the real world. STS is explicitly designed to dovetail with the heavy hitters. For the EU's CSRD, it translates operational data seamlessly. For ISSB, it ensures unified legal compliance. And for California's Climate Act, it aligns that messy, ground-level data directly with regulatory needs. It takes your everyday operational data and bridges the gap directly to legal compliance. And because we're finally mandating that machine-readable format, STS absolutely shatters that AI impasse. The data is finally structured. This means we can unlock incredible capabilities. AI-powered automated ESG tracking, real-time predictive risk alerts when a supplier hits a bottleneck, and dynamic real-time reporting. This completely replaces the outdated, backward-looking model of waiting 12 months for a static annual update.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, Building Resilient Value Chains, going from a compliance burden to intelligent networks. Now, to make this work, you have to realize that STS isn't just a simple flip-of-the-switch software update. It's a structural framework that requires a progressive implementation strategy. We're talking about comprehensive stakeholder consultation, careful, controlled pilot testing phases within your supply network, and really comprehensive organizational training. You're fundamentally changing the language of how your entire supply chain communicates.
But the payoff? It's huge. Ultimately, adopting the STS framework is about transforming sustainability reporting from a costly compliance burden into a streamlined engine for intelligence. You stop chasing endless spreadsheets and you start managing real-time actionable business data. So, I want to leave you with this provocative thought for today's explainer. Look at your own networks right now. Are your data standards just checking a compliance box for a regulator, or are they actively building the intelligence, AI readiness, and true resilience of your entire global value chain? It's really the difference between looking backward and engineering for the future. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and we'll catch you next time.